I'm Stacy, and this is the For Bricks and Giggles YouTube channel. This is a little bit of a bonus episode. I don't know if other people will find this interesting at all, but I recently bought a bulk lot, and at the point I'm recording this, it hasn't shipped yet. It's been almost a week, and I am so anxious to get this bulk lot. But a lot of times people ask me stuff like where I find my bulk lots, or what I'm looking for when I'm getting a bulk lot, or that kind of thing, and I'll tell you, when I get bulk lots, it's so random, and I spend so many hours a week looking for them, and I rarely buy them because at this point they're really difficult to find for good prices or stuff that I'm looking for, and I scroll hundreds of pages a week looking at bulk lots. So at this point I get really good at immediately knowing if it's something I want or not, and the longer it takes for a bulk lot to ship, the more time I have to stare at the photos. So sometimes I do this before buying or bidding on a bulk lot, and then sometimes when I'm waiting for them to ship, I will do this after I've already purchased it. This particular bulk lot only had, I think, 4 photos and not a ton of information, but I've said it before, I'll say it again, some of my best bulk lots have had the worst pictures. And that's a little bit of the fun, is not knowing if it's going to be a good lot or not when you don't know exactly what else is going to be in there. So I'm going to screen record me going through these photos, hopefully that's the way it'll work, and show you the level of detail I go through these photos with once I kind of find a lot that I'm sort of interested in. It's like I Spy, it's like math. You're putting puzzle pieces together based on what you can see and trying to make guesses. And then I love when the lots finally get here and I get to see how much of that I got correct, and you really just never know. So I'll go ahead and go through the photos with you and show you just how much zooming in and show you how much detail I look through and how much time I spend on it. Hopefully this video will be informative or at least entertaining to some of you all, and you can see a little bit of how my brain works when it comes to looking for bulk lots. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so here we have the 4 photos that were included in the listing, and I'm going to show you first the main photo. So we'll come back to this one, but this is the main photo I was given that kind of made me think I want to buy this lot. Obviously we could see the train regulator first, so that's like a really good giveaway of a good lot, is anytime you see something like that, or at least it is to me. I'm always looking for stuff that looks vintage. So when I saw this lot, that of course immediately grabbed my attention. Got a few minifigures there in the bottom, nothing super exciting. This bag of instruction manuals, also very appealing. It's harder and harder to get older instruction manuals, and that's a pretty decent sized bag of them. And then we've got like base plates here in the front, these light gray pieces in the back, some train tracks that appear to be 9-volt. And so that was the first picture I was looking at. So from there, I'll show you the other ones. They're not as exciting. Here were the minifigures. Again, nothing about this makes me want to buy this lot. You've got some older horses. I'm not sure what this is. Definitely broken legs there. This guy looks Star Wars. He looks relatively new. This looks like classic town. And then they just had a picture of the regulator up close. Again, nothing super exciting about that. And then finally the bag of instruction manuals. Even this, there's not a lot of information you can gather from this. But again, from what I can see, these look like older instruction manuals. So we'll go a little bit more into detail on the first photos. Okay, so I looked up the regulator, and item appears in 10 sets. I don't know if there's multiple variations of this or it really only came in 10 sets. From the looks of this lot, I was thinking mostly 90s, early 2000s, and all of these sets are 90s and early 2000s, so that doesn't really narrow much down. I do know it comes with some train tracks, so it's unlikely that it was strictly just the regulator and nothing else. Honestly, I don't even know if the cord is in there or the little pieces, you know, that go on the track itself, and those are obviously pretty essential parts. This was a train my brother had. I always loved it. We'll see if that's in there maybe. Don't think it's the motorized Hogwarts Express. That's the only set I have that has that regulator in it. And then we've got some other great options. I'm thinking not this one, 4511. It just looks a little too new for what we're seeing in that lot. You know, really just based on tracks and the regulator alone, I don't have a ton of information to go on. Any of these trains, if it were to be any of these trains, that would be obviously amazing. So we'll just have to wait until it gets here to see on that if there's an easier way to find it. So once I've kind of gone through, you know, the stuff you can see up close, I'll kind of zoom in on stuff, see what I can see that's a little bit closer. Obviously, it's a little bit grainy. We've got this tiny pirate ship, little red ship, usually comes in like pirate related sets. And then right below it, I just want you to look here, you can see a brown hull for a ship. So that's the next thing I'd look up, is to see what sets brown hulls come in. You all can see my horrendous typing skills. So I don't know if it's just this kind of piece here based on this photo. I'm not going to be able to tell exact size for this. So could it be this one? Possibly, but there's a couple different sizes. In brown, this one only came in one set. Imperial flagship, that would be fantastic. I haven't seen any sales in this lot yet, so I don't know for sure. If it's a slightly larger hull, it could be any of these sets, Black Seas Barracuda, or the reissue, Caribbean Clipper, or Skull's Eye Schooner? You know, I've never heard it said out loud before. And sometimes I realize that. I say stuff in my head all the time and then I don't realize what they're actually supposed to be until much later. So there's a pretty good chance there's some amount of a pirate ship in this lot. Again, I've not seen any sales, you know, because they only gave us this one view of what's in this lot. So it's kind of hard to tell. It does look like some random stuff was thrown in on top, like this bag of sealed stuff. You know, these pink bricks don't really go with anything else in here. You just never know what gets thrown into these kinds of bulk lots. So yeah, we've got probably some level of pirate stuff just based on that. I can see Ronald McDonald here, so that's late 90s, I feel like, for those toys, so that's probably an approximate ballpark there. We have this great pirate base plate here. Again, sorry about my terrible typing. Shipwreck Island. Maybe. Trying to get a better picture of it. Sometimes the pictures are so small on BrickLink. So that's a really great set. I do already have that set, but getting another one is never bad. And if it's not a full set, that's also not terrible. I'm always looking for lots to actually part out, so I'm not always trying to get sets for my collection from these. Sometimes it's almost better if there's no way to complete a lot of these sets and it's just miscellaneous parts. That kind of forces me to have to actually sell them, which is not necessarily a bad thing, because I do have to still make money. Then we've got some base plates here. I can't tell. That looks like a standard size blue base plate. This light gray one here, I can't tell if it's broken or not. Sometimes it's hard to tell. I know they make a light gray 16 by 16, but something about that edge just makes me think maybe it's broken. But we'll look up 16 by 16 base plate and see. In light gray, oh, comes in the airport shuttle. I don't think that's going to be in there, but wouldn't that be a dream come true? We've just got a basic building set. Derby Trotter. I have Derby Trotter. I love that little set. This little garage set, super cute. I would love to have that one. A Spider-Man set. I'm not getting the vibe from this lot that it would be Spider-Man, but you never know. We do have these light gray pieces at the top, so I'm going to look those up and see what possible sets those could go in as well. The ramp pieces, honestly, I can't even tell if they're ramp or the flat ones. Lots of great 90s sets. Could just be that it was a service pack, maybe. You never know. If not, we've got amazing choices. How many were there? 1, 2. At least 3 that we can see. So ones that contain 3 of them. That one's only 2. That one I think is 3. So possibly. That one's more than 3. Oh, I'd love to get a train station. That one's 4 as well. And since I only see 3. But there is train stuff in there, so you never know. I think that one's only 2 as well. Sail and Fly Marina is on my bucket list to get. That would be the absolute dream. I mean, as far as expensive ones go, it might be nicer to get one that's a little more valuable, but I love the Sail and Fly Marina. Another great train station, so any of those would be amazing. We're like 10 minutes into recording. Let me know if you're starting to think I'm insane for doing this much research on a bulk lot. We have that giant green plate there. I can't tell the size on it, if it's one of the really large ones that were in like the Fright Night sets, or if it's like an 8 by 16. It looks larger than 8 by 16, but I can't tell for sure. Since they only took one picture of this side, there's so much possibility with this lot. Oh, I do want to look up 6342 since we can see that instruction manual on the edge there. 6342. Beach Rescue Chopper. That's a really cute set. Oh, I'd be ecstatic if that was in there. So we're definitely leaning towards some town stuff. I don't see any other instruction numbers that are visible there. So we'll go to the close-up of the instruction manuals. Okay, so we've got one number here that we can look up, 1687. Ooh, that's a very cool set as well. Another kind of town-looking set. Comparable value, $22.99. Interesting. So, again, would be very happy if that was in there. I don't even know if I've seen that set before. Again, there's not a ton. You can see a dragon there. I don't know. That could just be an insert for a set. We've got this Aquanauts set down here at the bottom. Let me look up Aquanauts sets. That might be this one, the Crystal Explorer sub. It's at $61.75, but I can't see a number on it. And again, you never know. With some of these, they might just be the advertisements they included. Do you have a partial number here in the corner? I don't know if you all can see it. Hopefully on screen you can see it enough. Here in the corner, we've got a 5-1 on blue paper. It's white number. And in the corner, there is light gray with a red stripe through it, which is a very iconic style of instruction manual for train stuff. My brother had, actually the set I pointed out earlier, my brother had that train set, which was 4561, I believe. So let me show you. These are the instruction manual. I'm trying to point it out with my finger, but I gotta do it with the mouse. Okay, so you can see that it looks like the corner there looks like this instruction manual corner. But this one looks like it ends in 5-1. So with stuff like this, when I can kind of piece it together like that, since this one starts with 45, I would try 4551. That's a pretty, oh yeah, that's a really rare set. Oh my gosh. Okay, so that would be an absolute dream if that set was in there. Obviously, I can't see anything in there, but that does look like the number would be correct. It could also be that the third number is cut off and it's like 451 something. I don't know. I'll just have to wait and see. So even if that set's not in there, it would be great to get the instruction manual for it because, you know, sets that are this valuable used are going to have a pretty decent resale value for instruction manual as well. Yeah, there's not a lot for sale. Okay, so you can see here it says printed in Germany by Frank something. No numbers though. We've got a tiny number there, 4127821. No matches. Sometimes those little numbers have matches. This top one to me looks like an Arctic set, but that's about all I can make out. They really did a good job of photographing this in a way you can't see any of the numbers. So that's kind of my process. I think that's about the extent you can do with a lot like this. I really enjoy this kind of stuff, and it definitely gives me something to do when waiting for a lot. So I'm still impatiently waiting for them to ship this one. I do think they'll ship it today, but I don't know for sure. I also always wonder when I get lots like this and I show the photos if anyone else in the LEGO community has bid against me. I wonder how many times that happens where, like, I'm bidding against someone else I know, or I buy something and someone was like, oh, I had that in my cart. So you can always let me know if we were bidding against each other. I think that'd be hilarious and kind of sad. This lot, I think, is 13 pounds, and I paid $130 for it, so that's a really good deal for me. It's really hard to find lots of this age that are still $10 a pound. I have no idea if there will be more minifigures in it. I hope so, but you just never know these days. The fact that they pulled some out makes me think maybe they just pulled out the ones on top and there might be some more. But if not, that's okay too. Hopefully they'll ship it, and then I will definitely do a follow-up to this video going through it, and we'll figure out what stuff actually was there, if I'm totally insane and none of the stuff I predicted will be in there. I just really enjoy doing that. So now we wait and see. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like and subscribe, and if you're interested in more videos and content, check out the membership program starting at only 99 cents a month. There are already over 55 episodes available. See you all next time.